We are calling the regular meeting of the Darien Sewer Commission to order at 4:30 PM on Tuesday, June 4th, in room 206 of Darien Town Hall. The first thing that I would like to do is welcome our newest sewer commissioner, who has a long and storied career of public service for the town of Darien and other volunteer groups. We are very happy to have her willing to serve on the Sewer Commission. Susan Cameron brings a significant amount of experience of the town of Darien in public service and land use to our board. So,
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. I'm sorry that I'm replacing someone who had such a horrible accident.
Yes.
And was the sewer department for,
Yes,
So
talk
many
about
years.
talk about institutional knowledge, right?
yeah,
Yep.
exactly. But anyway, thank you. Glad to be here.
All right. And I guess this is also the official public introduction of our new sewer and facility supervisor, Anthony Campanella.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
You also, is it Anthony or Tony, or
I
when
kind
we-
of go by either.
either one when we're walking past you in the
People
halls?
confused.
Okay. Tony,
As the expression goes, as long as we don't call you.
Tony
late
1
for
and
dinner.
Tony 2, you just have to figure out if you're
Well,
1 or
that's
2.
been the whole dilemma.
Any further introduction you want to make for? Yeah.
You kind of started in, but you know what, after a long, exhausting search for replacement, April 15th, Tony started with us. He's been here now for about a little over 6 weeks. He does continue to come back, so that's a good sign for us all.
Yeah, that's good.
He has extensive history in facilities management, with a touch of pump stations involved, so he kind of fits in a little bit with our sewer. He's learning as we go also about our system here in Darien and the maintenance and requirements that are needed right now, and he's jumping right in. He's been a great addition. He's got extensive knowledge in facility management with regards to buildings in his history, and I don't know if you want to ask him a couple of questions or if he wants to elaborate on that.
Well, we can't extend the interview at this point.
No. I'm happy to be here.
Who says you can't?
Now, technically, just so I'm reminded, and the public can be reminded, a portion of salaries are paid by the sewer commission versus a portion paid straight out of the
Correct.
the town of Darien funding mechanism. What is that portion?
We're all portioned to the sewer department
Yeah.
and the rest to the operating budget or the parking fund.
Is it 25/75? Is it or is it
I
different
think for
each?
Darren and I, it is.
Yeah.
I think Tony is 50-40-10.
Okay.
50 to the sewer, 40 to the town, 10 to the parking fund.
Got it. Thank you. So we get 39 hours, right?
What's that?
We get 39 hours, that's how it works?
You get 21, 20 hours.
7.
We should get 40, 10, 10, and 20.
All right, we have 2 sets of
That's just
minutes
today.
to, we have 2 sets of minutes. Well, anyway, we're together already, but officially, welcome.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you.
We're happy to have a full slate of commissioners and personnel, and looking forward to getting a lot done in the next year. 2 sets of minutes to approve. First are May 7th, 2019.
Don't you?
Mr. Chairman, my comments are in red.
Well, we'll start with the red then. You made Mr. Van Winkle a secretary, I believe. Isn't it Mr. Hutchison?
Yep. Where did I do that?
Right here.
First page.
Can we have a title for you,
Oh,
like
okay.
Director of Adjournment?
In the letterhead, it's fine though.
Yeah, it's on the letterhead.
Bob, did you actually, this is on page
Under
4
4?
of 9, $4,000, $34,035, did you actually know that number?
No.
What they're, that's how it reads.
No, I thought it was, I thought it was in the area of 1,500, and I got, that must have been one part of it, so I got confused.
Yeah,
So should we post correct the minutes?
Well, so the 1,500 would have been what I said.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you have any objection to post correcting the minutes as indicated?
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar.
do you like the 4,035 or do you want the 1,500?
Oh, well, I actually said 1,500.
Can we put it in brackets?
It's an interesting question.
Can we put it in brackets, what the real number
Yes.
is?
Yeah, I guess we could.
Darren, did you see what I'm talking about? 4 of 9?
Page 4 of 9.
Yeah, the $1,500 is stricken, and 4,035.
Okay.
Should we leave the 1,500, because that's what he thought and said at the time, Bob, and then put,
The
in
corrected,
actuality,
the corrected
4,000?
number's of 4,000.
You want me to do like a, in parentheses, editor's note?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Okay, editor's note, later it was changed to 4,000. Well, maybe you guys can make a formal motion and just
Or
accept
just,
it.
Yeah.
just parentheses found to be 4,035.
Actual number?
Yeah.
Okay,
editor's
actual
note,
number.
Actual number is. So we can have right in black and white that Bob was wrong. Just-
No, I wasn't meaning to point it out. I just remember you said something lower.
Oh, come on, we got to work on the scorecard here. He's ahead.
Do you want just to remember change? Just to do a change?
Under,
100 to-
on, well, page 2 of 9 there, Wheat Beach Development Discussion and Action.
2 of 9.
That second sentence, did you say that or did I say that? I thought I said that my concern was that once the shrubs are removed, that you'd see the backside. Here it says you said it.
You were the one that, well, you said at the first meeting, I might have reiterated it at the second meeting.
Okay.
You both said it.
Yeah, it's common knowledge now,
We'll make it help.
bouncing around. It's an issue.
I'm
I
gonna-
don't, I don't
think you're right.
recall, so.
When, you get the good idea first, and then I get it.
Okay,
No, I do think I was kind of reiterating
fine, that's
your
fine.
statements.
And then under number 7, the 5 Mile River Road, Davis Landing Extension,
Cool, thank you.
Mr. Schuer said, are now making the request again. Did they make a request previously, or is it just are making the request?
I'm sorry, what page?
Yeah.
It would be,
The first
it would be
sentence.
3 of 9, section 7, 5 Mile River Road, the end of the first sentence. Are now making the request, and it says again, but I think it's their first time for making the
So
request.
you would strike again with a period after request?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
And that's all I found.
okay. You did attend the last meeting.
I'm going to abstain.
Okay.
I wasn't really here
Okay.
as a commission member, so
All right.
I believe the appropriate thing is to abstain.
Okay. Any other comments, questions, or concerns about the minutes from May 7th?
No, I would move them with the tweaks.
Move them as amended. We have a first.
I'll second.
Bob has a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor? 4, with 1 abstention being Susan. All right, second one should be easier.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Do I have a second for the May 30th executive session?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, 4-0-1 again. And the next item on the agenda is item number 4, Wheat Beach Development, Park and Recreation Department, discussion and action. I think we added a whereas clause or two and a better map. That's where we were last time.
I like that.
Yep, better map.
Yeah, the map
and
is
then,
super clear.
Yep.
Some of the language you wanted changed, you said it was not substantial enough to go back to town council. We made those changes.
Will provide adequate screening on the south side of the chain link fence, provide a visual barrier between sewer pump station, industrial use, and parks and recreation passive use, and proposed recreational area based upon plan prepared by landscape professional, approved by Darien Sewer Commission, and maintained by Parks and Rec Department. Wow, you actually made that sound a lot better than all the options we
Cleaned it
came up
yeah.
with.
That's great.
I guess that was that. Darren, kudos to Darren. Was it you that? No, it was Darren.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
taking credit.
I know, he's
We
the- he's-
We
he's-
could tell.
He's the most humble guy in the room.
The wordsmith.
So you move that, Bob?
Yes.
No, second.
Any further discussion on the resolution for the Town of Darien Sewer Commission authorizing the Park and Recreation Commission of the Town of Darien to make use of a portion of the land adjacent to the Commission's sewer pump station? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0. Susan's first vote.
I'm very familiar with this
Good
problem.
one.
Yeah, you literally live there.
Yeah.
So,
That's pretty funny, actually, that that's your first vote on the sewer commission. That is, boy, talk about full circle. All right. Item number 5, sewer user fee appeals, discussion and action. We have one fee appeal on 107 Camp Avenue, Norman and Leyland Kenyon. Anyone here representing the appellant, please come to the dais and plead your case.
I did a little math.
Bob's got the
Bob's
math.
got the math.
Is this easy math, Bob, or is this hard math?
It all depends,
Okay.
because there's lots of options.
Uh-oh.
I have lots of options.
No, well, it's a question
He's
of,
got different colors there. That's
yeah,
scary.
I had to.
I'm sure he does.
So you had a water line leak.
Yeah, and then I got charged an additional $1,000 in taxes.
Yes, to your sewer user fee.
Right.
Which, yes, might as well be a tax, but we call it a sewer user fee.
My sewer user fee went up just a tad under $1,000.
Yeah, because we base our user fees on the data that Aquarian gives to us.
And that would be correct data.
Except that what was artificially inflating your use was this leak.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I took the advice of my plumber, who I trust, and we got all new flaps in the toilets, and we put dye through the toilets, and so for a good 6 weeks there, it continued to slowly leak out, and then it really started to gush out, and I dug up my yard.
So part of this, you didn't discover it until you noticed your water bills were getting expensive, or?
Yeah, the water bills, well, I actually heard the water running, and I thought I'd licked it. And then I got my bill, and holy moly. And then we did more of the investigation, and unfortunately, it was on the lower half of the property. The property is a long, narrow
Oh,
lot.
so it was on the
So they
service line.
started digging up top and then didn't find it in 60 feet, and it was in a PVC, and everything looked great, and so we turned around, went down the other end, right on Camp Avenue, and started digging there, and it was not shielded at that point. And we found it, and we repaired it. So on top of my repairs, I also got hit with the user fee.
Okay, my question to you is, when was the leak actually fixed? One's a proposal, and then the bill from your plumber. I've never seen a bill without a date on it.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, and he made 2 trips and 3 visits. I didn't realize there was a difference.
Well, he's a good guy, but, yeah,
Okay,
he comes by.
so what was the date of the repair?
It was in November, mid-November, the payment to the gentleman that was digging up my yard.
Okay,
was
so that's-
11/13.
So
And
that's-
so it was probably not repaired until the 21st, 22nd of November of that year.
Okay, so then if we're doing that, then I believe we have to drop the December one, if you look over here. Because
backwards
it's
from us.
probably
Yeah, you get your bill in
involved
December,
in the
but it's
leak
reading, yeah.
first.
Yep.
So then we just do the 14, 9, and 5, which when you annualize it comes out to 112, and 112 times the 565 per CCF comes out to 632.80. So I will make a motion that we amend the bill to 632.80.
From 236170.
Yes.
Okay?
All in favor?
Sounds like we got one vote. Any questions on
And are we just
Mr. Hill's math?
Are we just doing the 1 year?
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be,
Okay.
well, I don't know how you,
Well,
I don't-
because you split the taxes
Yeah.
over the year, but
I don't know.
whatever is fair.
I don't know
Yeah.
where the leak
I
actually
think-
started is,
yes,
is,
exactly.
I think that's a very legitimate question.
So in other words, you're.
But we although we do want to work with our ratepayers and help people that discover these one-time charges through no fault of their own, we also expect people to be paying attention, right? You know, so going 1 year back is, I think, reasonable from my point of view. Do you have a
Okay.
question?
I do have a question. So you're saying 2018, 632.80?
Yes.
So the leak happened 2015 then, right? Because.
17.
No, you see where it goes, see on the far left column where it goes 108, 129, 17?
So you're on
Well,
page,
actually, I'm just looking at the sewer charge history, so
Oh,
I'm looking at it from
Okay,
very-
we normally look at the water usage, so we're looking at 5A, 10 of 16.
yeah, check that out.
So I guess what I'm saying, 2016 it was $900, 2017 it was almost 1,500.
Yes.
Then it jumps to 23, but now you're saying it really, the 23 should have been 632? So
Yes.
much less than either
Yeah.
17 or 18, 16?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, just trying to understand
Yes.
my
But
first night.
we've wrestled with this, like where the equity is in terms of like how long did it leak and
I
how much
see.
did go
Okay.
in the sewer, and you think a year is fair. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I did all kinds, I have 5 different calculations.
I'll second your 63280.
That sounds fine to me, I just was trying to understand.
All right,
The
so we
history.
have a motion and a second. The motion is to grant the appeal for 2018.
Here.
You have the number, Darren?
It's-
63280.
Yes.
Okay, you got the number. Any further questions for the appellant?
From or for?
For? Any further testimony?
I just want to know when I have to go
Yeah.
pay my bill.
If you paid the first half, you won't, you'll be getting a refund.
No, they made me pay the minimum, so 2
Okay,
and
so you
change.
have more.
Oh, okay.
I still owe the town.
Okay.
We'll
So
send
do
you
we, will
Send you an
there be a
updated bill.
final bill
We'll
sent
send you an
out?
update bill.
Okay.
Take us about a week.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
We have a vote on the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
5, 0, no abstentions. Granted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item 6, 17 Freight Court, Jasmine Sarika. Permission to connect 14 Freight Court, 4-inch lateral, discussion and action. Gentlemen. Oh,
Yes, I just, I have problems with my septic tank, so I need to convert it to sewer, because I'm gonna do renovations anyway, add another bathroom, and that septic won't hold additional bathroom. But Town Works couldn't find a sewer line at all, so they hired someone to come out, and they only found one line from 14 Freight Court going through my property into Neeson's land. And I'm just requesting to connect to that line.
Is that a public line?
we have 6.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that a public line?
The 4-inch, no. There's a public line that runs up Freight Court, though.
Freight Court.
Okay.
Hold on,
Yeah,
let me get my
you're-
head around this.
Correct, you puzzled. We couldn't find it. We hired one back to go up and locate the thing, but we couldn't get far enough. And now we believe there's one manhole missing, which we searched for weeks.
Months.
We still have some work out there to do to figure out where our system is.
Like last year.
Excuse me?
They just paved that.
Yeah, and- Yes, I just purchased a home in June. They paved it in August.
So there is a public sewer main under Freight Court,
Yes.
According to the plans.
According to the map.
and you haven't fully scoped
Yeah.
it yet.
We haven't fully found it.
Okay.
But we do know that.
It's your intention to continue to
We have to find
investigate.
it. I'm sure we need to know where our infrastructure is, but to Mr. Sarika's point, she's asking to connect into a neighbor's sewer lateral.
Yeah, which we do not typically allow, but unless, well, we need information. But,
Easements and drainage, easements and sewer maintenance agreements
Yeah.
would be something that the commission has historically entertained.
so this is, I assume, the neighbor to the south,
Yeah, 14.
and they're 14?
Yes, and my lawyer did write up a sewer agreement line with them.
Okay. So you're here for kind of a first impression before you go
Yes.
pencil up all the details and bring them back for our inspection?
Yeah, I mean, they need to sign it. They wanted their lawyer to see it first, but it's my sole expense to do everything, not anything
So
with them.
you would, so the idea would be, instead of running your own tap into Freight Court, 2 points unknown at this point,
Ideally, I would like to do.
You want to run a tap into your neighbor's line. Now,
That crosses your property.
Yes, and there is
Oh, your neighbor's line.
it's on my property.
Your neighbor's line goes across your property.
So I
into
wanna tap
Freeport.
it on my
So all of your
property.
work is on your property.
And there isn't an easement
There is no easement.
for them. Right.
So effectively, you'd be granting them an easement to do something that's already there, so that,
I don't,
I have to claim ignorance, I don't know. I want
Yeah.
to be, I want to go on the record and say, I'm not sure about that, I haven't been involved in this.
Yeah.
That was not my understanding. If that is the case, then she should be granting her neighbor an
yeah,
easement.
okay.
And then also entering
So,
into a
so normally what we
certain-
have in these cases is
I'm a
we
novice.
have some kind of map or survey showing where the property boundary is.
Yeah, I have my survey.
Oh, you
Yeah.
see it? Yeah, I've seen one. We'll see who did this one.
This is my property,
Okay.
and this is the neighbor, so I want to tap over here.
You're sitting at this table, if you want to speak, you can't.
Wait a minute,
Are you sure?
Highway's over here.
Yeah, this is my entire property,
be a very odd shape.
Okay.
and this is the neighbor.
Neighbor's over here.
Neighbor, yeah, this is the neighbor. So their line comes through here. The town marked that through my line, through the driveway, which is,
Oh,
they just have the right of way, but it's all my property.
Can I see it?
I can do that.
Put it over here. Yep.
Mr. Campanella was there at the time of the
Yeah.
sewer inspection, so he could
I can
orient
go
you.
across her driveway, and she owns the property.
Is it a flag lot?
Yeah,
I don't know
so
what
this
that
is the
means.
town map.
Rear lot, access way lot?
Flag lot.
So
Great Court is
the town
private
map,
street.
17.
You're number 17?
Yes, this
So
part and the whole.
You own
Oh,
the,
yeah.
you own the street?
Well, it's a private property. So
But
yeah,
you
this
own-
is your town map.
You own the common drive?
Yes.
And other people have easements over the
Yes,
common
they have
drive?
the right of way.
Oh, but you own it.
Yeah, I pay taxes.
She's number
That's the
7.
town map.
Yeah, no, I got it.
17?
You own it
Yeah,
solely.
he's this one. That's the
Yeah,
flag
but
goes all the way
not-
out.
Now I see what you meant by a flag lot.
Yes,
I
that's
didn't
the flag.
understand.
Looks
Okay.
like a flag.
So that's the town
Very
map.
complicated. No,
I
yeah,
didn't.
no, I'm good.
Until
I
you-
hear
Looks like a property line crosses the driveway. The road is separate lots.
17.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Can you,
so wait a
Oh,
minute,
you
so
know
where
that,
does,
right?
Mr.
So where
Tony,
does-
Tony's gonna provide some testimony about
where does
what he
6
saw.
go and then,
So 6 and
This is her.
10 are
This is the
connected
end of-
together
of Freeport.
on a line,
And the line-
on a 4-inch line.
10's the one between 14 and 6? Right here?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
so
Right on the inside of that
10
pole.
and 6 are connected together
And it
on a
comes this way.
4-inch
Oh, that's your
line.
property.
Okay.
Yeah, well, and then we're trying to figure out who owns the road, but I
Okay.
think she does.
See, this property comes out a lot further than I imagined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed unusual.
Hope
that
she
it
leaves
was
them.
fairly far from her house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's very
But this,
possible.
according to the map over here, that
Yeah.
long panhandle belongs to her,
Yes.
which is the road.
Yes.
Would it be possible for Anthony to state what he stated at JSC Hall? Hear what he
Yes.
Well, I was, when I was out there, it did seem, you know, a
Switch
good,
places, she's right.
a good distance from your
From
property.
my
But
house?
looking at the map, it is kind of a deep lot,
Yeah.
much deeper than I would imagine.
Yeah,
Just standing in the field.
I just did a new survey I just paid for just to make sure.
Where does that cross?
Well, it appears as though Miss Kenyon's lot has an access way effectively all the way out to the front, that you own effectively the fee under that common driveway.
Say that again?
Oh, Srika, I'm sorry, rather,
Sorry.
Miss Srika. You
We
own
got the previous.
the access way all the way out,
Yes,
To
according
Hacker.
to the town map, according to the tax.
and so you would own that fee, and then over that, others would have an easement, a right to pass, repass, a right to have their utilities.
Yes.
Okay.
I seen on the town, on the maps, there are easements for utilities and stuff.
Yeah. So,
I know it's complicated.
yeah, so I'm trying to figure out
I
why.
even called
Yeah.
1-800-DIG just to make sure before you start any
Yeah.
excavation, and they couldn't find a line. They only could find a water line, and they marked that for me, and they didn't find a cable line or electricity. But I have copies of that, the ticket status, that they only have a water, I only have a water line there.
Now, do you guys have an association?
No.
Who paved the driveway?
They all chipped in
Okay,
before I bought the house. I moved in, I purchased it in June, but I moved in September.
okay,
And and they told me they paved it. So the previous owner,
yeah. Chipped
they
in.
all paid $4,500 each.
Yeah,
So they all share it.
okay.
But the neighbor 14 Freight Court, he said that they did the sewer line like 30 years ago.
Okay. And your septic system is failing as we speak?
Yes, because in April, it was backing up, so I had to pay $1,000 to P Septic and Rooter to snake the line and also to empty the septic tank, clean it out, and do it again. So it came out to $1,026. They also put a camera in, and they're saying it's old and it's rotting, so.
Your septic system? You know,
Yes.
we would love for you to be hooked into the public sewers. That's not the issue.
Right.
But we would prefer that you be hooked into a common sewer.
Right.
If there is one out there to tie into. We
Which I've
can-
been trying to speak with Tony, the other Tony,
Anthony.
since November. He's been going out back and forth, and finally they couldn't find it, and they hired someone else to just check. They have been trying.
Okay,
How
so
are
who
these
did we
others?
send out there to check?
How are these
One
other
back.
people?
This is-
We sent one back
This
out
is
there.
10.
But the results
She
were
said that
inconclusive.
10 and 6 go together and go out like that.
When I was there, we were just on that
That's
4-inch
what she said. So,
line.
hold on, gentlemen.
14.
Hold on.
I wasn't there for the whole time, but when I was there, we were just toning that 4-inch line out, seeing where it went.
Oh, the neighbor's 4-inch line.
Yeah.
And where it tied into the main? Were we able to
They
locate that?
can't, no, it
No,
ties
they-
into Neeson's property.
Nielsen?
So I thought, Nielsen's, and I thought maybe there was a sewer line in there, but there isn't.
Well, it has to if it ties in.
It goes no, their line, right? You said goes all the way
Well,
out.
once it goes into the woods, you know, we could only get a certain amount, you know, before we hit a fitting and, you know, we were stuck.
Okay. And that's a 4-inch line all the way into the woods somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would cross this access way and then go to other private properties. So we might not have an ability to get to that.
Yes, unless there's easements, I would guess.
So how is the condition of the 4-inch?
I don't
It was
remember.
good, it was
I
good.
don't
They
remember.
actually cleaned it out, and he said it was, I don't know the company, but they said, I specifically asked him,
Yeah.
would I be able to tap in, and he
I don't
said
think it
yes.
was, I don't think it was perfect.
It wasn't
And-
perfect, but.
So would Anthony know the results? Or
Steve would,
Did you give us a thumb drive?
I don't remember.
There might be a thumb drive. If there is, we'll look at it.
Oh, they did a video too?
I hope so.
I don't think it was
know.
perfect, because I remember saying that if you do this, have them clean out this line, you know?
Right.
Because we were there just to locate, we weren't there to
So
clean.
there's a sewer line going up Freight Court, a public sewer.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know where it
You don't
is.
know where that
Yeah.
is. So why
I know
would
there's
they
a
send
sewer
that
line there.
4-inch off into the woods if they could get it closer? Is there supposed to be a sewer on Freight Court?
There's two
Yes.
of the homes that are attached together on a sewer line, a 4-inch
Well,
line.
I mean, at the very least, don't we need to dye test 14 to make sure it goes to the public sewer?
Yeah, but we have to find the public sewer.
It's somewhere in the woods near the river.
Oh, we haven't found
We-
where it hits the
About 30
Ecker
years
main?
ago, I was in those sewers. I was not involved in this. Sewer crosses I-95 from Ledge Road.
Yes.
So it's not just serving a few houses.
Oh, it's coming down on the edge of Stony Brook.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
other
it's- but-
people on Freight Court get sewer bills, user fees.
Well, the assumption is yes, you said the two other neighbors
Yes,
on Freight
10
Court.
and 6 are attached together on a 4-inch line, according to Anthony.
Did we have any permits pulled when those were all hooked up? Do we have anything on record? Easements or?
Yeah, I'm starting to
Sketches.
develop the picture.
Yeah.
So
Something
what
that happened 30
would,
years
I think, in the future, kind of what's helpful for me is if someone like Anthony has been working with her for, trying to figure this out, if staff could kind of make a recommendation to say, here's what we've been able to uncover, here's what we think should happen in this case, it's something like that. We're pro getting people hooked up to sewers and abandoning old bad septic systems, right? What I'm synthesizing the facts, and the facts sound like there might not be a common main under the common drive that is Freight Court. There might be a public main east, closer towards Stony Brook. And it sounds like these people over time have maybe gone out east to connect to that somehow, which makes me a little nervous because there's, it sounds like there's like no records of any of what I'm saying, which also makes me nervous. So the other two seem to have jumped together and found points east, and the immediate neighbor has found points east, and what the applicant is asking if she can hook up to her neighbor and then have that same advantage.
Is there a sewer in Hecker Avenue?
And that's
Yes.
that's
Yes.
the
So,
back of
has to
Nielsen's
be.
property. that isn't used.
57 and 47, those probably run into Hecker Avenue, right?
So you-
I never saw the map that you have in your hand.
That's
I
the
don't know.
town, I just printed that from the
You want
town.
me to take it?
Yeah.
I can just take a quick peek, it might
Not hers, or her neighbor's.
help.
I just printed that from the town.
I wrote,
This is just a town.
Yeah.
I put those black lines in there. I don't know if they're correct, but that was just,
Okay,
I would guess that they're connected. I don't have the records in front of me.
Yeah.
We wanted to bring you something, but as late as 5 minutes before this meeting, I checked with everybody, there was no maps, we didn't have any information to bring to you. We're still in the process of trying to figure it out. I was told that maybe the resident would bring some maps with her or something,
Yeah.
which I guess this is the map that you
From
brought,
your
right?
town and my survey.
So
Yeah.
the question is, the one that would like to be hooked into, that one, where does it go?
and on whose property is it on? So, where does it go? And so, we would love to be cooperative.
Of course.
We really, we want to find a good resolution here, but we can't be sloppy with our record keeping, because then there's situations like this, and.
No, I get it.
yeah.
I mean, it happened 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Things happen. You are on computers now as where it was handwritten
Yeah,
before.
exactly.
I
So,
get it.
At a minimum, we would need to know that, one, the condition of the line that you're tying into is in good condition, and our staff agrees that it's in good condition and can handle that tie-in. But to the extent that that line goes over some other private property on its way to the sewer, it's tough for us to allow an additional tie-in if there isn't some consent for that line to be there. So that gets into if in fact this public main that the 4 inches headed towards is on the Nielsen property to the east, we would need to see some paperwork, map, easement, or consent to allowing that line to be there.
Do I have to do that research?
Well, you're the person that needs something. It's not like there's no one.
No,
there's
I'll
no
do
one.
the research. I'm retired.
Yeah.
I'll do the research.
Yeah. I mean, the property owner is a nice guy, and I don't want to speak for him, but he certainly would listen to what you had to say, I'm sure, if you asked him.
But there's more than that here. It's
Yeah.
like cleaning it all up would be good, knowing where things are. I mean,
Yeah.
We're at that same point we're at with this one.
Yeah.
Something was
Sewer
done,
was on his property.
with or without permission, a long time
Yeah,
ago.
we need to know where.
We need to know where it is.
So, what
Is that a different
can,
map?
No, it's just different. I didn't know that.
what can, what can the town do to assist?
Yeah.
Where's our role here?
How about we identify where our sewer is first?
Yeah. Sounds like
Start
a
with
good
that.
start, yeah.
How long do you think that will take you?
That's a good question. I'd like to get some more information from Anthony and from Steve.
Steve, yeah.
And see what we've done,
Yeah.
what we've documented, and why we don't have more information. And then let's look at the lateral cards to see where those are. And we have to do some dye testing, we'll do that. Maybe some folks will allow us to camera in from their house and
Or-
chase that out too.
Or if we
have to do
camera
that.
in the sewer that we have, we might be able to find the lateral connection.
Correct. So let us do a little bit more homework
Okay.
and get this more information from you and come with some plans next time.
Okay.
And in the meantime, does Mrs. Sirica, does she just keep pumping out her septic system?
That's the only
Every
thing. we can
couple
do.
of months,
Okay.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be $1,000.
It was actually 500, to snake it, it was $500 from Roto-Rooter. And P Septic charged me $4 and change to
Pump it out.
pump it out.
Yeah, so that's.
You won't have to clean it out again, you know,
Right, so.
you know, at least not every few months.
Right, but if it starts backing up into my bathtub and my sinks, they have to come and clean it out, because and then there's just waste there. So they will have to pump it. Maybe not clean it, but pump
But
it
pump
again.
Yeah, they would have to
Yeah.
pump it because it's not leaching and percolating into the soil.
Right, so,
So, hopefully you found our staff to be helpful.
Yes, yes, of course.
And they'll continue to be helpful. And you will find a receptive ear here, but I don't think there's enough of a record before us that we can take any action.
okay,
And hopefully we'll see what can be assembled in the next month.
The information that she provided, could we have
Yeah.
copies of that?
oh,
there it is.
yeah, my
Just
survey.
this?
Do you have a full
Here, you can
size?
hand that to them.
I actually just did a new survey.
Oh, you got it, that would be great.
Yeah, do you have a full-size
You could
version?
drop-
He just put this in my mailbox. I just got this done by.
Or if you bring it down during normal hours, they can make a copy of that for you, so you
Yeah,
don't have
so
to
this is the new
get
survey.
your only version.
So you want me to copy it? This is
I
my
got your original, right?
Yes.
Okay, then if you could
Sealed.
bring it by tomorrow?
Okay.
We'll make copies of everything.
Sure.
Um,
So you
and
want me
this
to
way
make a
we'll-
copy of my
This,
survey?
are these the only ones you have?
That's, yeah. No,
Okay.
you know what? I have it on the computer. I could print it out again.
You sure?
Yeah.
Bring that one by tomorrow, so we don't take your.
Yeah, the town doesn't have anything on my land anyway. It doesn't have any of it.
Any deeds that you had when you bought your house would be helpful for the record, that might describe the access way and the rights associated with it.
further
Like I said, working with these guys to continue to try to figure out where that lateral is and what condition it's in. And perhaps, if needed, talking to the adjacent property owner, if in fact the lateral does go across that property,
Right.
about some form of consent.
Okay.
Do you have title insurance?
Huh?
Do you have title insurance?
Yes.
Good.
Am I missing anything?
The manhole, Darren, do you think they may have paved over a manhole when we did the road 100 years ago in Temporary?
Happened in the middle of Post Road, Freight Road wouldn't surprise me a bit.
I spent the summer of 1989.
Digging up manholes?
Well, they,
Um,
yeah, they, not this, I think.
Here we are,
this
30 years
time
later
when
doing it
they
again. We're
paved
doing
it, it
40
must
this
have
year.
been like back then, when they paved, probably over the sewer line.
Yeah.
But they just paved in August. There wasn't a sewer line, so it's probably before that pavement.
Could have been 1 or 2 times ago.
Yes,
Fair.
over the past 30 years, maybe.
Does anybody else here have any questions or need for additional information?
So I will bring you a copy
No, I
of
think
this
everything you
and
asked for
a
is,
copy of the, is on my, the contract from the closing, the deed with the
It will
number.
detect a cast iron.
If you have time, just go
yeah.
through the land records. too.
I did.
And
My
see-
lawyer made me
See
go.
if anything pops up, like, there might be agreements in there that aren't on the Schedule A or deed. Maybe they're in the chain of title.
Yeah, I actually went and they helped me
they're great.
downstairs. Yeah, they are. She went with me through the books and there wasn't anything. The only thing that was there was, I guess, Chicatel, whoever owned it, the freights, owned everything. And they sold parcels off.
Yeah.
And so there are some easements, like he just suggests, for electricity, stuff like that, but not sewer. I
Says
mean,
Utility, that's good enough for me, but we'll see.
all right. All right, thank you.
So does she come back next month if you let her know?
We'll let her
Well,
know.
they're probably gonna need some time.
Yeah.
I'm not rushing you, but I'm rushing you now.
Yeah, well, look, we can do our side and figure out where the public infrastructure is and what condition the public infrastructure is. That's on us. But then anything between where our public infrastructure starts and where anybody's private connection ends, that point is gonna be on you, right? So you may not be done, scoping a line or cleaning a line or figuring out where a line is, but we're gonna do as much as we can and get as close as we can.
Yeah, yeah. I think, on their behalf, they didn't wanna tear up the new,
Yeah.
cause it cost 20,000, so that means I would have to pay 20,000 for that, and it's gonna cost me 18,000 to 175 feet from my home
Yeah.
to the connection.
Oh, I get it. So and those are the types of extenuating circumstances
Yeah.
that we will consider when allowing. But if the second half of that 4-inch is all dead flat and there's breaks,
Right.
we can't just allow the connection. If there's no
Right.
easement documentation saying that 4 inches is allowed to be on private property, we can't allow another connection, right? So there's some things that we can't do. That might fall back on you and decisions, do I do this, do I do that,
Whatever cost effective.
Yeah, yeah, we're trying.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we're gonna table item 6, there I go again, and we're gonna move on to item 7, 74 Christie Hill, sewer lateral connection. Is this done?
Looks like it. I'm all excited.
We have confirmed that the sewer lateral is predominantly in the easement that it's supposed to be in.
That one spot, it's on the line, but hey,
We have confirmed that the condition of the lateral, at least the degree we're able to scope it, is in good condition and indicates quality workmanship.
yes.
We confirmed that last time.
Two meetings ago, we reported that
Yep.
the Darien sewer staff inspected this and found that there was no sags, the pipe was in pristine condition.
So it's where it's supposed to be, there's an easement for it, and it's in good condition. So we can open and close the permit for it.
These numbers
Subject
here,
to Bob.
A1, are triangulations of the cleanout, is
Yeah,
that correct?
archives, yep.
Oh, cool.
Archives from the corners of the building that I labeled.
Arctiles, okay, sounds better than triangulations, but
Same thing,
trigonometry,
same thing. Everything's
I call them
triangles.
tape ties.
okay.
Ties is good, though, because
I'm-
you can create an arc.
Swing tie?
Swing ties?
Yes.
Yep.
Swing tie,
Multiple.
arc tie,
Tape tie.
triangulation.
So we could put this to bed, we need a vote.
Oh, yes. Well, it's interesting, I don't even, well,
What?
protocol would be, if everything had been done right, they would have opened a sewer permit, they would have put it in, they would have closed the sewer permit, we wouldn't even
There
been,
is a sewer permit.
Yes.
yeah,
Should we just close that then, is this?
that's your prerogative, not
Yeah, but
mine.
Ed's asking for a motion
Okay,
because
I'll give you a motion.
Sewer Commission specifically asked us to take certain action, which we did. Do you approve of our action?
Okay,
Darren's point.
okay.
Yes,
Darren's keeping me in line.
I'll make a motion, we accept this and ask for the permit to be closed.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion on the motion? Is that motion a good motion? All right.
that
All
what
those
you're
in
looking
favor?
for?
Aye.
5-0. You can vote 6-0.
I'm in favor too, even though I'm not.
Okay,
Thank you. One less thing to put on the agenda. for
okay,
next time.
guessed right.
That was really well done. A lot of work.
Yeah,
It
but
took a lot of time.
Yeah.
it was easier,
It's the right
but
thing to do.
but it was easier to do now when we weren't under the pressure of someone trying to sell something.
Superintendent's report.
I'm going to ask if you want to entertain any public comment, as I see we have.
We do have 2 members of the public here.
We do, and
They're
before
going
we
to
get
start getting
into-
frequent flyer miles.
That's up to you, I'm throwing it out there. we'd like to do that.
Is there any
Our residents and-
action that it is helpful for the sewer commission to take on this item, potential item?
I don't.
Not resolved.
I do believe that's why they're here.
Okay.
And as much as the chairman
Yes.
made direction of last month to please move this along, I don't believe it's completed yet.
Okay.
Though I don't know how much progress was made, so I don't want to speak out of turn.
So item number 10, out of order, there is one item of new business that I would like to entertain. So let's first do that. Darren, Goodwise River Road, what's the address?
30?
Would like to entertain new business on 30 Goodwives River Road for allowing two separate buildings on a single property to connect to the same lateral into the street.
Yes.
Do I have
Alright,
a
give it
motion to
back.
go into new business?
So moved.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are in new business on 30 Goodwives River Road. Darren, you want to give them a quick summary? Although I think I
Sure.
just did.
30 Goodwise River Road was connecting to the sewer, and halfway through the work, they found that the garage also had sewer. The health department mandated that the entire property be connected to the sewer. So the code of ordinance says that if a land is subdividable and there's more than one building, you're not allowed to use a single lateral. The commission has always granted someone to connect a garage to the main house and then go out through one lateral with the proviso or motion that if there's ever a subdivision in the future, you have to come back. In this particular case, the contractor was there. We spoke with the chairman to sense his direction, and felt it was prudent to allow them to go ahead. They did. We bring this before you now for a formal motion or vote.
So I'll make the motion that we formally allow 30 Goodwives River Road to connect the line from the garage to the residence, with the stipulation that if the property is ever subdivided, that they will come back to the sewer commission and ask for formal permission for two connections. Good, bad?
Yeah,
Indifferent?
I think that's fine.
Okay.
Well done. Second?
Any further questions on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Darren, for taking care of that. All right, entertain.
Out of special business?
No, we're still in new business. We'd entertain new business. What's the name of the road?
Turnabout.
Turnabout Lane, to hear from the sewer permit applicant on progress to completing actions necessary to close the permit, who would like to go into new business.
I'll make a motion, we go into new business about Turnabout Lane.
Second, all those in favor? Aye. Sir, how's it going?
Fine.
Sure, yeah. Your name for our reporter?
Hi, so we have everybody here tonight. I'm Alan Hagender for Turnabout Lane.
And how's progress going?
Progress was going great. It's been quite volatile over there with actually trying to get the work done on the road, but I have it just about backfilled and it's been inspected. The situation on the road got a little volatile, so I was now focusing on my own yard, try to get that done. Anthony came over last week to look at, there was a fitting that he wanted a 90 turned into 245s to change over, and I made the mistake. I put the 245s together, made a sweet 90, which was just...
Instead of having a piece of pipe in between?
He wanted a piece of pipe in there. That's my fault. It's done. I'm calling for the inspection tomorrow. It was an easy fix. It's just, he was here last week for that, and that's all he needs to look at.
Okay.
And as far as the road itself, it's just about backfill, but it just got so volatile right there, we had to take a break from that with the police and everything like that, and the
So
other
progress
person.
has been made, and it sounds like we're getting close to the finish line.
It's just about there, and the road is gonna have to be dug up again for the water company to address our water situation also with our neighbor at 3 Turnabout Lane, so I don't know if she's looking for paving or anything else to be done, that's not happening right now, so.
Oh, I don't know about the water.
Yeah, we have, there's
Maybe I don't need
there's
it.
multiple
The
issues.
services were also,
Yeah, we're trying to get all our services away from her because she's just gonna cut that off from us too, and that's gonna be the next thing that's gonna be an issue. So we have Aquarian and trying to work Aquarian out and what we're gonna do with the water line that touches her property and how we're gonna figure out how to get around that because she's just gonna cut that off next. And we're gonna start all over with Aquarian, so.
okay.
We're just trying to be proactive, so we don't know if she's up here to talk about getting something paved.
I don't know either.
The road is private. I'm the one who had the road paved when I moved in, so I'm the one who financed it, so she shouldn't be talking about any of that tonight. So, but I'm just here to just
Ron,
let
can I
you.
just ask, because I have been watching this, this is my first night. So you have done everything except get the inspection, which needs to be done tomorrow?
Yes, well, I'm calling tomorrow. He can come whenever he wants.
Okay, then that
He might
is-
come the day after, because Anthony requires 24 hours.
That inspection gets done, then what needs to be happening? You need to fill in the
Just to
ditch?
finish filling it in and plant some grass and be done with it. I have some
Okay.
chunks of asphalt on the road I need to get moved out of the way. And
So as far as the sewer commission goes, because we're not
you're
responsible
done.
for...
You're done as soon as Anthony comes, probably the day after tomorrow when he comes, because I'll probably call tomorrow morning.
What?
So,
Take our
and
report
that issue was actually on my property, so just to,
Yep, got it.
I tried to get the road done first, which got to be a problem again, and I'll continue to try to get it done. Just finish up what it needs. There's not much more there. It's pretty much all backfilled. I did it by hand, so.
Thank you for the update. Any other questions for the permittee?
Nope.
Thank you very much. Any public comment?
Like you guys already know me, Katina Spiasu here again.
And your
3
address
months.
for, yeah.
3 months,
3 Turnabout Lane?
3 Turnabout Lane.
Okay, great.
This is what my neighbor is doing now.
Just so you know, I'm gonna be able to have to react to this. This is just
So
gonna start
he's
showing
taking
all
out,
Yeah, we'll give
digging
you a chance.
out,
Yep.
digging in, digging out, digging in, and now he leave all the top. This is a game, this is playing, this is ridiculous, okay?
Isn't that backfilled? What am I missing? Is that a pile or is that backfilled?
It's a pile, that's what he's
Okay.
doing, because he still not want us to let it come to our driveway. So he's digging out, he's digging in. My birthday was May 15. I don't even bring the people in the parking lot, so just in case he want to work, and exactly, he worked that day with his son, digging out, digging in, digging out, digging in, and not finished. This is 4 months coming back here every time. And he still not have any progress. I'm not here to claim any money, anything. I just want my peace. I cannot be like this anymore. Right now I have to leave my kids alone just to be here. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is planning. I don't even want to close everything. He doesn't want to close, don't close. As you see right now, the picture, the door is top. So I can very easily put it down and I can cross by. That's not what I want. I don't want no problem with this gentleman here. I'm done with all the harassing and everything what he does to us. I'm done. I don't have right now money to pay for a good lawyer who can fight for us because I have to take care of my husband. He doesn't know that maybe my husband can die tomorrow. Okay, we just found out yesterday. But he still don't care. He don't like the peace. He just like to fight. And not only now with him, now it's with the son. You saw my son the last time who came here. 21, respect. Ask him when my son is coming today.
Okay.
Never.
Ms.
The son-
Alfonso, would you please speak into the microphone, please? So we can,
It's picked up on this one, too.
oh, is it? Okay, sorry.
That's yours, actually.
So like I say,
good.
I'm here to get from you guys help. That's all what I want. I want the peace.
You want it done?
Because
You
I
wanna
don't know, see, like I said, like I just said to you guys, I don't know, see, tomorrow my husband is gonna die. So who's gonna defend me? Nobody. Please, help me out.
Well, it does sound to me like he needed to have it redug out so that Anthony could look some 45-degree angle thing.
That
But now
would-
you are going to fill it in, and then, Mr. Hagener, will that be it?
Here, let's
No,
before we
wait,
go.
Okay,
no,
well-
continue with
because
questions, I
the
wanna
last
hear
time
she's
when
done.
we was here, they already give it the okay for the outside. He's talking about the inside, even you guys just hear then, that he stopped because he has to take care of his side. So how long is gonna take him? Because this is starting December. We are,
You asked for this,
June.
man.
Hold on.
You're the
June.
one who parked
Hold
on
on,
the sewer
please.
system, remember that?
Please,
Remember the day you
One at a
parked on
time,
the sewer pole?
please. One at a
Mr.
time.
Wagner,
Yeah.
Please.
we're gonna
Yeah,
allow,
well, she's gotta stop that nonsense.
she can give whatever testimony she wants, and then
All right.
you can have an opportunity to rebut.
Keep
Well,
going.
we should have a time.
Now, do you have any other information that you think we need?
The information is that I came here trying to find out if he's coming to get permit. No, but they have from here, from these three person here, it's a person who's passing the information to him, okay? Because he was not even know, my name is not there, and he just show up. It's somebody who's helping him against us. And again, I'm not here to fight, I'm not here to claim anything. I'm only wanting to have my peace. My peace for me, for my family. Because this is getting ridiculous, okay? You see how he getting, this gentleman here? I don't even say anything to him, because I'm a little afraid of him.
So, you showed us information that was a backfilled trench in a hump. You're also saying that the road's not repaired yet, it's gone open, it's gone closed, and you just want it finished. And that's what you wanted us to know tonight.
Yes, I just wanted, like I say, because as of right now, he's complaining, saying that he don't have time, and he has to do his house. As you know, guys, his house is big hole. So, see, this is taking him already 4 months, he's still not done. He's still not showing the most progress that he need to show, because we say we're going to cooperate it, and that's what we're doing right now, okay? So imagine how long it's gonna take him to finish his side, for him to finish the side outside. And again, I don't need to finish all the outside. I just want my part. And as of right now, he have all dirt, like you see how I show you the picture. So I just want to plan it, and then I don't even need to put black top or anything. Just with the pickup truck, it can go easily in and out. I don't need him to do anything.
All right, so is there any information that you have that you think we need to have that you haven't already shared? I don't want you to be repetitive.
Yeah, I just show you the things.
So is there anything else? Is there anything new or different that you haven't shared with us that you need to share with us?
Well, this other picture here, the ambulance taking it, looking his time spare, what he's doing. That's what he's doing every day.
Just so you know, you're gonna have to look at my videos and pictures now too, if we're gonna start doing this.
And that's the hump in the road you showed us?
Yes.
before? Okay,
That's what he's been doing.
okay.
So-
Yeah,
You
yeah,
showed
it's
us
not
that.
camp. You have to,
So, look, we're not gonna go on forever. I'm not hearing anything new. I can't just sit here for an hour and listen to both of you talk. We're gonna finish it. But I wanna ask you if there's any information that you haven't shared with us that you think is relevant that we should hear. Yes or no?
Well, I just showed you
Yeah,
something.
I know, we heard it all. So is there anything new and different that you haven't said already that
No.
you need? Okay, thank you. So your comments are over. You can have a seat. Okay. Sir, would you like to rebut anything that you?
I just want to clarify one thing for
Yes.
Sue. The repair that he had to do, or if I remember correctly, where he had the elbow and needed the 245s, was on his actual property, not in the common
Oh,
driveway.
okay, sorry.
Just to
So then there's
clarify.
no reason why this shouldn't be filled in?
Not in the street, yeah. It sounds like you got your, so, return one more time. You've
yeah,
received.
there's actually a lot of reasons why I can't fill in this. This woman has has been not allowing me to do this. That's her goal, is to not get me to do this. Why, I don't know, okay? The things
How
that she
is
does.
I'm sorry, I really don't understand. How is she not allowing you to fill in the hole?
Well, let's go to the videotape then, since we're gonna.
Can you describe it without us?
No, so you're gonna look at hers, you have to look at mine, because this is what she does. Let's go, okay, this is her when I have the contractor here trying to. This guy that pulled the permit for me, she's yelling at him.
So she's just talking.
Exactly.
And she's talking. She's saying she's gonna sue the guy that's here trying to help me out.
Please.
Listen to what she's saying.
I know, but can you just please fill in the hole? You can't fill in
I
the
am.
hole if she's yelling at you?
Oh, we have police coming down, they parked the car on top of it, okay, so that's video of her yelling at me,
Right.
okay, and the contractor.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then we could go to where she's parking the cars.
I mean, I totally get how
May
acrimonious.
I ask a question, Mr. Hagan?
We've been through all this, but I know you haven't been here, so,
May I ask a question?
I mean, when you're parking your cars on top of the hole where I'm trying to dig, and,
Maybe, yeah.
When?
Don't
you
worry.
know, she always has her cars out in the road.
When?
Is there a date for that?
No, but I can
No.
figure out how to.
Okay,
This
but-
is 4:44 PM today, on my
Okay.
way over here.
Okay. So
was out working on it
it will
today.
be difficult for you to fill in a hole if it's got a car blocking.
She promised to stay in her house. Let me get this on my.
Okay. Well, there are, okay.
This woman in the past, I'm sorry you weren't here, so you weren't filled in.
Right.
She promised to leave me alone and stay in her house while I did this, and she did not do that. Okay? She went against her word, and all she does is harass me. She's been abusing her 911 system. She's manipulating cell phone videos. She's yelling profanities at my daughter. She's giving the neighbors, my neighbor from the back, she's giving them the middle finger when they're in my backyard, not bothering her. Okay? So until she ends her revenge with me, it's not going to end. Okay? This will end, but it's not going to end with me. It's been going on for 8 years now. This is just a recent thing where she can get people to get involved with her life. Because no attorney will work for her. I have my attorneys already. I'm here for my attorney told me to come here tonight. She could take me to court. I wish she would get her attorney.
Well,
If-
it does seem to me like you could, even though she is yelling at you.
Yeah, and for her
you have
husband-
it on record, she's yelling at you, you could still be filling in the hole.
Just keep working. Just keep working, right?
Yeah, I would just keep
yeah.
working.
No,
Fill in that-
I have been doing that, but I can't subject myself to that every
Right.
day.
All right.
So,
That's just crazy. Now, if I came over to your house and started yelling at you every day and yelling profanities, is that comfortable? It's uncomfortable.
It's not, but
Okay.
it does sound like once the hole is filled in.
It gets tiring
it's
after
my-
4 months of it.
right.
5 months of it through the holidays. She had me evicted from my house. I was out of my house for a month, from Thanksgiving until Christmas Eve. Were you not aware of that?
I heard about all of that.
Okay.
So I do
What-
think though, what is?
Do you know this all started because she parked on top of my sewer pump? It was a couple $100 to fix the sewer pump. Instead of that, I've been $30,000 into this,
But
6
we
months of
need-
work.
But you need to fill in the hole.
It is filled in. I have a
Right.
little bit more to go, and I have
Hold
to
on.
tamp it down.
I would like everybody to stop. Okay. The remaining pipe can be inspected.
Pardon?
The remaining pipe will be inspected,
Yep.
and the pipe will be safely backfilled,
Yes.
so that we can sign off and close the sewer permit.
Yes, and you will be done with us.
I,
You would hope, right?
yes. No, I would hope that, I don't know.
It's a waste of my time,
There's
too. It's a
nothing
waste of
that-
all of our time. I
There's nothing that
understand.
I can hope for that's going to happen, so.
Right.
So,
just so you know, I'm also in the process of getting a restraining order on this woman. It's been that bad, so, which also costs money and time. It doesn't end, it's everywhere I go, she's there. I just want this to end too, it's a nightmare, it's been an 8-year nightmare.
I understand. Is there anything else that you would like to put on the record before we move on?
And for her husband that claims he has stage 5 cancer, he has beaten that, and he works on his house every day, and he's going around telling everybody that he's beaten stage 5 cancer. Just an FYI, okay, because I'm tired of hearing that every day and trying to get a teary-eyed thing. My mother-in-law died of stage 4 cancer in the process of all this. She didn't seem to care. Her husband's working on his house right now. I should have taken a picture of that on my way over here, too.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to close this because this has moved on to matters that have nothing to do with the sewer. Thank you very much.
Let me just tell you something, you guys. He doesn't know what is being cancer. He think that because my husband is.
This has nothing, ma'am, I'm sorry, you can take that up with him. This has nothing to do with sewers.
But that's what I'm saying, because you guys listen to all the things that he's saying, and it's not true.
Just because we listen doesn't mean it's a part of our considerations, and it's not, because it has nothing to do with sewers.
Okay, so what is the solution now?
He needs to have his final inspection and backfill the trench.
Okay, now, if I do just the side that he already have done with the door, just to plan it to pass by, what is gonna happen?
That,
Because that's, I think, is the best solution, see, he
once,
can do.
once we inspect it.
Yeah.
And it's backfilled,
I wouldn't
That's it,
recommend.
we're done.
I wouldn't
Nothing
recommend
else.
doing anything until we've closed the permit.
we
But
have,
you guys already, the last time you guys already said it, it's already being infected. So what is his side? that
We
he
have not
can-
closed the permit. I don't recommend that you interfere at all with the work, even if you feel it's productive. I don't recommend you get involved at all with the work until we close our permit.
and when the permit's closed,
It's up to
we
you.
have no further jurisdiction whatsoever. None.
Okay, so when I'm gonna be knowing the.
We cannot control his schedule.
Say it again?
We cannot control his schedule.
So that means I have to come every day, find out if it's close or not?
Well, you can, sure.
Maybe just look out the window. Don't engage him.
That's what I'm saying.
He said a couple days, call us, we'll let you know.
That's what he does, okay?
Okay,
Yep.
thank you. I'm
So
not gonna,
let
I'm
me
not
not
going to
come.
hear, this is not productive. I'm not going to hear any further testimony from the public or the permittee. We're done with this matter tonight. We are moving on. Okay?
Okay, so that
Thank
means
you.
we're gonna see, you know.
Now I'm going to ignore you because I've told you what I'm going to do. Okay? So I'm going to ignore you, and I'm going to move on with our agenda tonight. Is that clear?
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 8.
Superintendent's report.
Are we out of executive, out of?
Can I go back and change my answer from before? Okay, moving on.
Anybody got-
Superintendent's report. Yeah.
Make-
We're on new business. Any further new business anyone wants to consider before we go to the superintendent's report? I'm looking at Bob very pointedly.
Make a motion, close new business.
No, I don't have anything, I'm saving it, because it's already 5:45 or 20 to
Make
6.
a motion, close new.
So you do have new business.
That will be brought up next month.
We'll tell him that.
I always have new business.
I will.
Does that mean can I ask a
We
question?
ready to
during
go?
the Superintendent's report?
Y'all ready to, okay.
I would love to
Superintendent's
hear about
report,
something
let's start with A, the Seagate pump station status. We, we do have our generator on. Sorry. Our generator now is in our DPW garage. It is ready to be installed. We are working out some of the details with Eversource and our staff. We want to at least put the new one in place so we don't have to move it a second time. But the one that there's now is questionable with regards to starting when we need it, but we're keeping an eye on it and keeping an eye on the weather and such. I think now's a good opportunity to maybe get the new one in place before we switch over all the controls and everything like that. Instead of trying to do it all at one time, we'll kind of get in ahead of it right
Does
now.
it live on the same pad?
It's, I think we're gonna have to rip up the old one and put a new one down. It is a little bit bigger. We do want to move it a little bit. We have some new conduits to go in a different direction, so we're gonna rip it out of there and pour a new one.
Downtime be a week, 2 weeks?
Probably less than a week, we're hoping, but we've given ourselves a week. We do have a temporary one that we're gonna have in place there. Our head sewer mechanic is lined up a temporary one from one of our generator people, so we'll have one on site. So we will have backup power just in case. We're trying to pick a week maybe that's not gonna have inclement weather, but you know how that goes.
It's been hard this year.
It has very hard.
Just a quick, that's a diesel with a belly tank?
No,
It isn't, has a
Propane.
stain? Oh, it's propane,
yes it is.
okay.
All right. Thank you. Good question, Bob. That was a good question. Heather Lane, Lake Drive. I'll let Darren give you an update.
I'm happy that Anthony Campanella is involved. We have an electrician on board. We have permits pulled. Eversource has issued a new customer request for us, and we are going to dig the trench and build the meter base in-house. So Anthony will be working with Vic, our DPW foreman, backhoes, paving, raising an existing manhole that's out there, and our electrician and building department.
How long before each meter is online, approximately?
Heather Lane will be quick, but it won't matter because Heather Lane and Lake Drive, both, we need to wait for the cabinet itself at the meter. So even though we'll have power at Heather Lane, it won't matter. There's nothing to power. And at Lake Drive, the meter's gonna go right on the box, which we don't have yet. I believe that's mid-June,
I don't know the timing, I just know it's ordered.
mid-June.
So,
I've contracted and put in an email to Stanford that we are shooting for July 1st,
okay.
powered up, ready to go.
And that's still a reasonable,
It sounds like it.
okay,
Getting close.
sounds good. Sewer line replacement, Boston Post Road at Birch Road?
Please.
We, as part of our routine maintenance, our sewer staff found another pipe that was not in great shape. It's the pipe that is on the north side of the post road, crosses Birch Road. We looked at the option of relining the pipe, and unfortunately, some of the upper part of the pipe was in such bad condition that after we cleaned it, a rock came down from the excavation, from the dirt that was above the pipe. And there were a couple other places like that. We tried to move it with the camera, and as we couldn't even get to the rock from the upstream end. So we spoke with the lining contractor, and obviously it's not a lining candidate unless the pipe is clean and open. We even considered lining the pipe if they can get by the rock with the liner, and then we would go back and do a point repair later. But in speaking with the lining contractor, the price became exorbitant because of the risks that they would incur. And we found it cheaper to open cut excavate, which we did, and finished at 1 o'clock, 1:30-ish in the morning.
So we're talking about a section, or?
One section,
109,
198 feet.
190,
Oh, you.
section between two manholes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, no, I was thinking like a 20-foot section of pipe, not 200, not 200 feet.
No, the whole thing was in bad shape, and if you go out to Birch Road now, you'll see there's a trench across the road, and also a trench across the driveway entrance to where the Herald Shop used to be, that little shopping center there.
I've seen it, I've seen that you're working there, I didn't know what you were doing.
We did it.
What was the type of pipe that was?
AC, asbestos cement or transite.
And that would be what, 40, 50 years old or older?
70s.
I'm just curious by material.
We are,
I thought it was the late 60s.
We-
It was, okay, I'm sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, we were puzzled because, as you know, Ed reported in past meetings that he wanted, and we did, inspect every place where there was a force main discharge. And what we found so far is that first section of pipe where the force main discharges is in fine condition. Why would the next section be bad? And the one after that section, that's not so bad either.
60 feet, so where it discharged into a manhole, the pump station from
Post Road East.
Post Road East, Bertucci's. There's a 6-foot length of concrete pipe.
60 foot.
60.
Yeah.
60-foot section of concrete pipe that is in really, really decent shape, except for some joint cracking maybe. The next 190-something feet, there was barely any pipe left.
Wow.
Wild.
So
And then after the next manhole back in.
they expected the following
Yep.
piece, nothing,
Fine.
they went up Birch Road.
So does this complete our inspections of each of our force main discharges?
Well, therein lies the problem. They did the inspection on that 60-foot section to see it and make sure it was okay. The only reason that they went to the next section, they had some issue, it was kind of sluggish, it wasn't moving well. They decided to give it a little cleaning.
So we might have to go back around, is what you're saying?
Yeah, and specifically the pipes that have, asbestos concrete in them.
Was there settling that might have broken a joint that then collapsed it? What would have caused this?
I want you to envision a tunnel of just dirt
Yeah.
on the top.
Like it collapsed, the pipe
And
collapsed.
every once in a while, there's a void, and there was a rock that was hanging, and I think we may have jarred that rock a little bit with the jetter.
But maybe when they backfilled it, they backfilled a big rock next to it, and oil tanks.
That's okay, but there'd have to be 196 feet of rock on top of it.
Okay.
There's
Yeah, this
nothing-
way it was like
there's
insane,
literally
you know.
nothing left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Except some of the joints you could see the.
So we're
the
gonna
reinforcement.
methodically go back and go a little farther downstream of some of our force main discharges to do a more thorough or further investigation of potential for corrosion.
I think that would be a good idea. And I think we plan on doing that too. We're trying to just wrap up some of the loose ends too at the same time. I give the guys credit. They went, they saw something, they investigated, they cleaned it, they pulled out a bucket of gravel. And then the next day went out and they tried to camera it. And it wasn't as good as we thought.
As rosy as we thought it was gonna be after getting cleaned.
I wouldn't even use the word rosy.
But you guys were able to turn this around really quickly then, from finding a problem to.
I give Darren credit and the boys a lot of credit, and Tony's first initiation to, we do everything on the fly. They did a lot of work. I was not around.
We
so I
basically
can
did most of
credit.
this work in-house?
What's that?
We did most of this work in-house?
No.
No,
No,
not
the
the
pipe
contract.
replacement?
Yeah, who did?
AJ Penna.
Oh, AJ Penna, I missed that one.
Really big job.
Do we have existing contracts on an as-needed basis in emergency contracts with the contractors, or is it just you start calling who's available?
We pick up the phone.
Okay.
Pick up the phone.
It's not a bad idea, though, whether or not you
Right.
have an on-call service
Yeah.
contract, that you've got negotiated rates at least.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Penna's the only guy that can move.
Yeah.
Let me call him. We called him that day, and we said, we need you to start, like, tomorrow.
Well, that's priceless.
He started the next day, and we closed down Birch Road. The police were very helpful. 1:30 in the morning, we were done. The road was open, the sewer was in.
That's incredible.
Okay, great. Anything else under the superintendent? Oh, yeah, Stanford WPCA contract.
We're almost there. I'm just.
We're coming up on 1 year late. Just-
Well, and it's good.
Are we only gonna
I
get
think-
another 4 years out of this one, or do we get 9 years? Or is it 4 plus 5?
There's a 4 with an option to pick up one more. The one we didn't get. He wrote back, sent me back an email, and I could say this in public. I know we've gone into executive session. It's just, there's some verbiage in there that his lawyer wanted changed from the original 2 contracts that I thought didn't need to be changed. It was one of those and, or, if.
All, any.
Yes, exactly, and or. And I'll deal with Bill, and we'll see if we can get that wrapped up before July 1st, because we've already missed this meeting. What's that?
Would love to sign it.
So we're pretty darn close. And then one other piece in another section, but it wasn't anything big. But he had asked for a meeting with our attorney to review it, and I'm reviewing that request, and we'll see.
Anything that gets the job done.
I'm just
The details matter.
dragging more people into something that.
Yeah, because you can't show Wayne the paragraph, right? He's gonna
I gotta
look at
show him a little
the
contract.
whole thing, right? Then he's not.
But
gonna-
he's already looked at it, he's already commented on it, and made some small revisions, but it wasn't anything that would have, rocked the boat over there. But it's, difference of opinion, I guess is a good way to put it.
Okay.
But
Good luck.
hopefully by next meeting, I will come in and tell you that we're all wrapped up and,
We already took the motion that I'm authorized to sign it.
Okay.
Whenever it's ready.
And with that hope,
So
to
excited.
hopefully put you a pen to paper.
Anything else under the superintendent's report?
A couple other things.
I'm good. Darren has a couple.
I'll be brief.
Yes, ma'am.
Davis Lane,
Okay.
the residents of Davis Lane came in and dropped off a petition with unanimous support for the sewer. We have it here. We didn't include it because the agenda package already went out. I see there's nobody here from Davis Lane, so. We also have sewer manhole raising, which is coming up, which we just submitted a DOT permit. As soon as we get that back, our contractor's ready to go. And we also have a bid on the street for cleaning and televising sewers on the post road. We're gonna get inside the sewer and try and figure out what's going on there. Because although we've cleaned it quite a bit, we haven't seen it.
Which block is this?
From Leroy all the way up to Mechanic Street.
Under the
Commissioner.
railroad bridge.
What's that?
Under the railroad bridge.
Yeah, underneath the railroad, all the way under the railroad.
And then they're gonna turn the corner, we've already looked at Mechanic Street.
We're gonna wrap up Mechanic Street, starting tonight at midnight.
Okay.
Get that finished clean, get it cambered one more time, see what the obstruction was, do that all tonight.
And Commissioner Hutchinson has called to our attention that there's, might be some issues on Brook Street. So we included that as part of the bid package. So we could check it out while we're there, since we're gonna hopefully hire a good contractor to do that.
Okay. Okay.
I just figured it might make sense because it's one of the areas that was of concern years ago to look at. So I think we look at Brook Street and State.
Okay.
That's it for me.
All right, add a superintendent's report, number 9, Nearwater Lane Pump Station Property and Building Conditions. I did drive by, but I only drove by, it was locked. But,
Okay. There are 4 tanks that were,
decommissioned.
they're claimed to be, all right, decommissioned but not abandoned in my opinion. They're full of water. They're graded. There are sections of the grates where you can just push the thing out of the way with your foot.
There's a cone over one. It's not safe.
Stagnant water. I just, it raises the hackles on the back of my neck when I think of it. It's just another, between a breeding ground for bugs and bacteria, it's a potential hazard.
So, so it's a potential hazard. What else? Is that it on the tanks? You said something about the shed too.
Yeah, the garage, you'd have to see it. It's, you've seen Deliverance? It's in poor shape.
Pardon?
It's in
Okay.
poor shape
So-
would be a description.
So where you're headed at, if I could guess,
Well,
is we should determine
The tank should be abandoned,
properly.
filled, so, and probably a hole made in the bottom so they don't hold water.
Yeah.
And if, if we want to leave them, just make a hole in it and
You could fill it with crushed stone.
And fill it.
Cap it with 4 inches of
Bunch of stuff
concrete.
you could fill it with, yeah.
You know?
The garage, I mean, especially now that they're going to be closer with their boardwalk, is going to become an eyesore. So it
Is
either
is
needs
the
to be
garage-
repaired, replaced,
Is the garage?
or raised.
Do we use?
One of the
garage?
Rs.
Is it useful to us?
It's got stuff in there.
Okay. Do you agree with Mr. Hill's assessment of its condition and need for its eventual replacement? Okay. So, does anybody else have observations from
Yeah,
their
that's-
visits?
we walked.
Reese was with me.
Yeah, we
Okay.
walked around, and I think the area where those tanks are, the old subterranean, it really could just be filled in and then used as a foundation later. It's really well built.
Yeah.
For a building, if we ever needed another building, it'd be great, put 4 inches of concrete over crushed stone, and then, you got a pad, which is, I don't know the
Well,
elevation.
yeah, you're not gonna build a building on a foundation you haven't designed for it, I don't think.
Trust
But-
me, go look at it. You'd sign off.
I understand.
Hazard zone too.
There's practicality and then there's permitting, but,
Permitting?
Well, that might be the issue with the garage.
Did you make any observations independently? You drive by there with some
I
frequency?
walked through there the other day. No, I think I saw the shed, and it looked pretty bad, but I didn't really locate the, because I wasn't really looking for it, the tanks?
They're underground. They're on the right side as you come in.
Oh,
There's steel
which way,
frames
which way are you coming?
coming from the entrance from near water. Not in-
By the
from
Oh, you-
guard
by the
shack.
beach, By the beach.
Oh, you're coming the back
Yeah.
way? Oh.
If you look to the right, they're grates and they're all underground, probably settling.
Oh,
ponds or something.
okay. Yeah, I
So-
did see them. I
And
guess.
then just generally like the overgrown trees and the overgrown nature.
Yeah.
Eventually there's stuff there's like a, 70s looking thing, jungle gym set somewhere off in the corner. And that'll be more of an issue if the public's walking by, that's all. So
There
I
are
think we
also
should be cognizant of that.
Kayaks,
Yeah.
boats.
Maybe I could get the Parks and Rec to pay to have it cleaned up.
Well, it depends on which side of the fence it's on, but,
That's on our side.
It's on the wrong
Yeah.
side.
Who stores kayaks down there? Is that?
oh, is that
case for
one of our
hurricane?
guys storing our kayaks down there?
Is that
No, it's, yeah,
Case for hurricane,
it's not,
you know?
it's not only us in that location, so I think.
I mean,
Parks
Oh,
and Rec,
there's a,
Yeah, I didn't have a
To
problem
me,
with
it's
that.
the
We saw
safety-
them there.
It's the safety issue mostly.
okay, so, my baseline question is, do we want to begin tackling a scope of work for the proper abandonment of the tanks and the rehabilitation and or replacement of the shed now ourselves? Or do we want to fold that in to recommendations that might be made to our consultant when hired and activated?
I don't believe that is something that we will hand off to the consultant. I don't believe it's part of their work.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
The tanks are probably gonna have to have that water tested.
Yep,
I don't know what I'm gonna find at the bottom of those tanks.
yep.
But I can secure them to make them safer. If I have to, I'll plate them.
Yeah, that would.
As far as the building goes, anything I do down in that area, you are well aware of, I'm going to need permits to do with that building. So I've been hesitant to start that project. I do believe it's going to be very popular when I start doing work down there.
The shed or the?
It's really a garage.
The shed.
It's bigger than a shed.
Okay, yeah, I get it. So let's do one at a time.
It's-
Tanks.
Could be.
Do you, we want to make the tank safe, but for that, it would be demolition permit. And then,
For the tanks?
Yeah.
You could put
I'm
road
not
plates.
gonna demo those things.
You could put-
I'll fill them in.
You could
Just
put
fill 'em.
road plates on top of it.
Because
So it'll
once
be
I
the-
start digging down and stuff like that, I don't know what I'm gonna
How
find.
far
in there,
down is,
so
how deep are those tanks?
I don't know.
It would just be safe if you put road plates on top, some sort of, just,
I'm gonna, I'll take some samples of the water, we'll have it tested.
yeah,
I'll plate them temporarily until we get the results. And I'll find out what I need to do with the water. As I'm pumping it out, I'll find out if there's any solids below too. We'll do some probing into the tanks. I'll
Et
do
cetera,
it
et cetera.
properly. I'll do it properly.
okay.
I'll make sure we
great.
test
So
everything.
you're on it now, you're on it.
Right?
So we'll
Got
get
it.
information so that we know what's happening.
Yes.
And,
Are you directing me to work on the building too?
Shed or garage?
well,
it's.
to the extent that the shed is unsafe, we should work on it. To the extent that the shed simply is
Unsightly.
approaching its useful life, I would leave that to you, to decide when and how to replace the utility of it. Does that seem fair, Bob?
Yeah.
Well, you have, if you look down from above, you have a plot of ground there, right?
Yep.
So while you're at it, maybe we can figure out, what are we gonna do with it? I mean, what's eventually it gonna look like? I mean, are we gonna plan to take down the shed? Are we,
Well, I'm assuming what he's
what are we gonna do?
leaning towards is if you took it down and wanted to replace it, it would have to be higher, in which case it would become a
Expensive.
source of contention with the neighbors.
Yeah, whatever's gonna go back, whatever is gonna go back is likely
Did you
gonna
hear
wanna
about the
be
Greenwich
bigger.
Lighthouse for the pump station?
And if it's bigger, it's evil.
So whatever I do down there has to fit within the neighborhood and the vision that the
There's a
folks
timing.
across the street see, so I have to be very conscious of that whenever I do.
Well, are we gonna have to face that eventually?
Eventually.
Eventually.
11 years from now?
No.
Well, I mean, so,
can I ask a crazy question?
90-11.
I mean, eventually we'll have to come up with a
If,
plan. of what-
if we filled the tanks up to grade level
Yep, that's what I'm.
and you had a concrete
Yep.
surface there, do we all of a sudden gain 2 shed-like structures?
Yes, if you put a shed on top of it.
We do. We also fall into the.
Right in?
it- You know the regulations that I'll have to deal with down in that area to put the structure.
Oh. Storage is allowed below the
Yep.
flood elevation.
You buy a swap shop building
Heck,
for
right.
4
No, no, I'm not talking about buying any building, I'm
In the
talking
road-
about using the
In the road
structure.
bay, you're limited to 42
The tanks.
feet.
Oh, no, no,
That's
not the- which-
that's not
which-
tanks
which
we're
one's the
talking
tanks?
about. There, it's a pit.
Oh,
It's just
those
2
pits.
feet
Got
above
it, got it,
grade,
got it, got it.
and there's grades in the
I would, I think we're.
They do.
That's
use
the pump,
those.
that's the pump
That's
system,
office
that's the pump
down
system.
there.
I would, I mean, I don't mean to, I think until you visit, it's kind of hard to make the actual determination.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
You guys organize site visits?
Bob and I do.
No, I meant real site visits, where everybody goes and looks at it at the same time.
You could do it if you wanted.
I'm
Gates
asking.
usually open.
No, I'm
Yeah.
asking, is that something that this commission does when you have the situation?
We haven't done it yet.
Where it comes up repeatedly and people say, you have to go look at
No, it
it?
hasn't come up repeatedly. This is a
Well, I've been watching 5 meetings, I've heard this already twice.
This is the first time it has officially made the agenda, and what we said we would
can't?
do was all go take a look.
Yeah.
Three's a quorum. Oh, my gosh. It has to be advertised as a meeting.
Yes,
so
it does have to
there's
be
3 of you.
noticed.
Yeah,
Right.
that's silly.
Yeah.
It's like the whole, just go. see
How
the
hard
buses.
is it?
How hard is the notice? Because it's more
Well, whatever.
productive, I
Either
would
that or
think,
just
if you're
walk
all
in
there.
pairs. If you're not together, it's fine. You can walk 2 by 2. Or-
Don't talk to
We just
Somebody's gonna
can't,
be alone though, there's 5 of you.
we just can't hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
No.
Would
I
you
will
like,
go look
would
at
you
it.
like an
I will-
orientation?
I will
the
absolutely
site?
go look at it. I will.
Is there someone in the department that is
I will
willing to
ask
walk with Ms.
someone to
Cameron and
come
show her
with
the
me.
site?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't
There we
trip
go.
in the
All
hole.
right.
And I won't fall in a hole. I used to live right next door.
Who knew what was there?
I did.
Any further discussion on item number 9?
No.
All right, so we are going to go into executive session. Ms. Darren, will you please confirm that Channel 79 turns off their camera and sound?
6:05.
Okay, Channel 79, we are going to come out of executive session and back into our regular meeting agenda. We are now moving on to item number 12 of our agenda. The Sewer Commission is been in interviews with multiple consultants to provide engineering analysis services on our sewer system. It's actually a study I'm pretty excited to start and have at our fingertips. I think it's going to be more comprehensive than anything we've done in the past. We've taken a lot of time to interview these consultants and review qualifications. Tonight, we need to select the top qualifier. After we select this top qualifier, it will fall to the director to negotiate scope and cost contract, and only after successful completion of that negotiation will we hire a consultant. And that will be a separate action by this commission at a later date. But the action that we're looking for right now is to select a lead qualifier with which to begin that negotiation. The 3 firms that were shortlisted included Arcadis, Wright Pierce, and CDM Smith. Do I have a motion for selecting the top qualifier?
I'd like to make a motion that we select Arcadis as a top qualifier.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second?
Any further discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
So it's 4-1 for hiring Arcadis. So now Bob can always say, I told you so. He reserves that right. Any further discussion on item number 12? Good luck, Mr. Gentile. And item number 13, is anybody here who would like to make a motion to adjourn? The Director of Internment would make a motion to adjourn. Second.